Let's hone in on Nvidia's historic slide on Tuesday, posting the single biggest market day cap drop for a U.S. stock. Pressure on Nvidia worsened after the Department of Justice sent subpoenas to the company over antitrust concerns. That's according to reporting from Bloomberg. Here with more, we've got Patrick Moorhead, Moor Insights and Strategy Founder, CEO, and Chief Analyst. Patrick, always a pleasure to get to speak with you. I want to start on this news out of the DOJ here. What exactly did Nvidia do wrong?
Yeah, so first of all, as your previous guest said, it's not illegal to have a monopoly. It's illegal to use those monopolistic powers to hurt consumers, reduce innovation. And NVIDIA has over 90% of the data center GPU market. It is technically a monopoly. And in a hot market, and an important market to society like AI, that just sends off red flares out there. And the last 10 years, and if particularly Lina Khan administration, there's a new look at even pre-prime. It's not what you've done, but what you could do. Now, what's coming out of Bloomberg is clearly of what happened, right? You can't tie products together. You can't tie gaming products to data center products. You can't retaliate. You can't give exclusionary rebates. So for instance, don't buy AMD, or if you do buy AMD, I'm not going to give you this discount. And finally, this was discussed a little bit. One of the moats that NVIDIA has is their software called CUDA. And as we saw with Apple, if you are blocking competitors interfacing with that, that is a no-no.
And so is this now kind of filling in some of that moat that they have? If this is successful in the subpoena that's come forward and ultimately what that means for CUDA, if there has to be some type of licensing agreement that they offer up to other chip manufacturers?
That's exactly right. Now, the challenge here for the competitors is these are always a 10-year affair, from the beginning of a complaint to a verdict to even some type of appeal. You can get the courts to come in and force something if there are smoking guns, sort of a cease and desist. We saw this with Apple and the EU. And the second risk here is these are infectious, right? What happens is other jurisdictions, let's say the EU, Korea, Taiwan, other areas of the world, they see the DOJ doing this, and it gives credence. I do expect these complaints to pop up in other parts of the world.
Well, Patrick, I would be remiss to not talk to you about the stock performance while we've got you. So obviously a historic day for NVIDIA in terms of downward pressure on the stock here. Looking ahead, what needs to change? What can Jensen Huang and the company be doing to turn the stock story around as we head into the next quarter here?
Well, if Jensen can change the recession and the fears of that, which of course he can't do, that would make the biggest difference. The reason for the sell-off yesterday wasn't necessarily from this report. It was based on more fears of recession. And as we've seen, what can go up a lot can come down, and often does. And AI, it's why AI were the biggest decliners. So any type of hiccup brings this down. I think a real rate cut, as opposed to hints of a rate cut, and potentially other good signs of an economy on the rebound will bring this back. But it's really, I think investors know, particularly institutional investors, that any type of Department of Justice ruling, I mean, my gosh, this takes a decade. What NVIDIA can be doing is to continue to have the highest performance computing in the data center to solve the problems of the hyperscalers and the enterprises and the tier 2 CSPs.